flow.
But inside a piece of power you'll never know.
Let it out, it's inside you.
You better all stand back, 'cause we're coming through. I see it, and now it's all
Okay, fine. I guess I'll actually be live. Smiling GM, thank you very much for the resubscription. And Masterman64, thank you for the resubscription as well. How are you guys doing? How's it been? Hopefully it's been a decent time since I've been AFK. Well, I say that, but, you know. Back just in time. Well, that's good. That's good. Apologies for being stuck here with me, but, you know. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not. Doing good, you just don't know how? Oh. Give me a second. I need to get music set up. Because music kind of important right now. Let me figure out where I've actually got. See, video resources. Music. Oh. So do you hear Stone Tower Temple? Yep. You'll hear more here in a second. But Smiling GM, thank you for redeeming your points for an you fucking degen. That gonna cover the Ohio Railroad strike? Not 100% certain if I'm going to. I already have a preset set of things that I'm planning on going over, but might be. Coasty, what thoughts can I possibly have on Tears of the Kingdom? What information do we have? Nintendo's given us nothing to go off of with Tears of the Kingdom so far. Like, they've given us nothing. Like, I want to be excited. I want to be very excited for Tears of the Kingdom. My problem is we have no info. We have nothing to go off of. Smiling GM, thank you so much for the really generous 5 gifted subs. Ooh, go this far. She thought the Eye of Horus was satanic. She thinks that everything that is not of Jeebus is satanic. This is a person who is afraid of their own shadow if they can't find an outline of God's dick in it. Usually can say, but if I do, my body might shut down of its own from sleepy. Fair enough. Let's see. Guess we'll do that. Do. Said you goobered last night? What do you mean you goobered last night? How so? Eep. Meep. There we go. Oh, she added symbolism? Yep. Like, literally, when she's looking at a group of demons, she's like, look at the ground. Guys, look at the ground. Can't you see the evil demonicness in the ground? Like, bitch, there are demons standing on that ground. And that is what you are focusing on? Are you okay? What a fucking depressing way to live. Alright, Goku, you and me need to have a conversation. I'm not here to fight. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to have an adventure. Alright then. I was here to have an adventure, and then you decided to try to kill me. No, I guess now we're not having an adventure anymore. Now I'm here to kill you. Let's go. I angered the NPC! No! Fuck! Heck. You was told that depression was a sign that you were on the side of the angels. Whom the fuck thinks that? And based off of what information? Like, I've heard just as many people say that, like, depression is a sign that Jesus is on your side, as have said that depression is a sign that, like, the angels are protecting you, and... I don't know. It's all garbage. It's all garbage. I don't know, there are some ideas that are just deserving of mockery. Hello, I don't need any. No. I am full. Of Wendy's. Fan of Stalwart, thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? Wait, why did you seriously have to ask of what? I ate the food when I came home with the food. What? Toho says, hi, I'm the party. Well, I guess the party's here then. So we talked a bit about you because Sonic came up? Oh, that is unfortunate. I feel like if I get mentioned in conversation, everything's gone south. Like, that's the end of days. Sergio Garita says, God won't send you more trouble than you can deal with without giving you an exit. That exit, of course, is him. Man, I'm so glad that I'm a content creator, because I've earned myself the ability to be, like, boisterous and stupid without negative effects happening to me. Like, nobody can go to my employer and fire me. Because I would unironically, if someone was telling me that, I would interrupt them and go, the exit, of course, is suicide. Just to see the look on their face. Just because I know for a fact they would have to go like, no, 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 that's not what we meant. And like, yes, the fuck it is. Don't even. Don't even. Don't bring this God is only going to give you what you can handle bullshit. Never do that. That is a far more toxic mindset than anything I could say that's edgy. We didn't mean that. Okay, yeah, but I took it that way, and that's a you problem. Said thought suicide was the greatest sin. Here's the funny thing. I can't find a Bible verse that says that. I have never been able to find a Bible verse that actually says that. And in fact, actually, if we go by some of the non-canon bits from the Bible, like the Gospel of Judas, Judas's suicide was literally meant to be a thing that would get him closer to God. So, per pre-Council of Nicaea version of their book, awkwardly, suicide doesn't pull you away from God, it gets you closer, and that's kind of gross. That's eat lead. Haha. You come in hearing suicide and your mind loads the MASH theme. Oh yeah. Hey, for those who don't know, the lyrics to the MASH theme are suicide is painless, it brings on many changes. Just, you know, if you wanted your fucked up fact for the day. Do you ever get that feeling that some denominations actually say that about suicide so they can try to skew the numbers of people in their congregation that are driven to suicide by the draconian principles that they're trying to put through with their book? You ever thought it was a desperate way to try to fight the people who probably committed suicide because of the things the pastor actually said? Like, I'm probably hyper wrong. Said, how would that help them exactly? So if you were a church and your congregation kept offing themselves, that wouldn't look good. But if your congregation has a habit of shaming people away from taking that exit constantly because they'll burn in hell if they take it, So the Pope long ago dictated that because there was a lot of congregation that was killing themselves to get to God. That's not surprising. Your ex-Pentecostal friend said it regularly that death was the worst thing possible. How? It's literally the bargain bin way to get to Jesus. Do-do-do-do-do-do. I heard the person around here rooting about. That was a grenade. Did you just kill yourself? What? Why? Why did you do that? You didn't need to use your fast pass to get to Jeebus. This music after somebody kills themselves. Yeah. Rime, hello. How be? Where is... Do... Where's the shooting coming from? Congratulations, you got played by the Amazon Prime shotgun. 2-day delivery of bullet to your face. Be not too well. How about you? Why are you not too well? What's going on? What's going on? Whee! Just got here. What were we talking about? Just some real awkward stuff. Where's the person? I guess I'll take this boar. Woo! No, hey! Get Pumbaa! Get back here! Excuse? You can't aim. What is wrong with you? Who taught you how to shoot? They did not have your best interests at heart, buddy. Haven't had your laptop for a week and it's really getting you that you can't stream or draw. Oh, is it because it's in repair right now? Sirs, how do you deal with a person who thinks conditional love is okay? I mean, we As humans, all of our love is conditional. There is no person who has unconditional love. If they believe they do, that is a lie. McBreirtry, thank you for redeeming your points for an owl. Owl. Like, think of the person you love the most in the world. You can think of something that they can do. They can strip that away. Why does this guy have water effects on his feet? Not dealing with you today, buddy. Do not know where this person is. Oh god, fuck! You got me. That's less than good. That was less than good. Nothing about that was good. That was goodn't, I would say. It was goodn't. 42 fish. Thank you very much for redeeming your points for an... You fucking degen. Oi, oi, oi. One sec, what? Why does this look so surreal? How so? Oh, I didn't say I was going to link to that episode. Dummy. This game's weirdness fascinates you? Rime, do you know what makes this game's weirdness even better? You can get it for free on your Switch. You can live the weirdness. You can live the weirdness with no strings attached. You mean conditional love is if you're not VXYZ, then I don't love you? I don't... So they love a version of you that you have to be? That's not... Okay, so... You might need a different word for that, because that's not necessarily conditional love. That's just not love. Like, conditional love is the person loves you under certain conditions. But if they're laying out those conditions like that, then I would argue that at no point did the person love you. Because the person who you are and the person they need you to be are fundamentally different people. Like a racist demanding their non-racist child not marry a black person. Buddy! Damn it! Main thing stopping you from playing Fortnite is the Epic launcher because it's a headache to use. I don't see how... Like, the launcher's a piece of shit, don't get me wrong. It's not as good as the Steam one. But, like, it's intuitive at the very least. If a racist demands that their child not marry a black person, then all that happened is that the child just lost a parent. Like, that's it. That's the end of that conversation. That's, oh! Okay, bye. Unfortunately, that's not an easy thing for most people to do. Yeah, that's just a racist parent enforcing racist ideology. That has nothing to do with, like, conditional love or anything. That's just a racist parent being a racist piece of shit. They may truly love their child, but their love for their child is at odds with their racism. Is this the Switch version? No. That it also sucks up my RAM like it's Google Chrome. Then you know what you do, right? You just turn off the launcher. When you boot up your game, you just turn off the launcher. You had to deal with an abuse apologist earlier? Ah. You can do that? Yeah, it's called going to... It's called grabbing your task manager and just killing the Epic Games launcher. Like, once you've launched your game, you can kill Epic. You don't need it anymore. Just go into your task manager and just destroy it. Just yeet it. Oh! Ha-ha! Oh god, no! Damn! Fell for it! Oh, we both died! Shit! Oh! I felt like such a troll stealing all of his weapons, and then I just died. Yeah, with Steam, you can do it too by setting all games to be playable offline. No, it didn't work out as planned. It didn't work out as planned. Are you just playing Fortnite, or are you doing stuff in the background too? Me or Vasha? Aurora Borealis. At this time of day, in this location, localized entirely on your island. On your island, man, that sounds like we're playing Animal Crossing. Me? I mean, I've got all kinds of things going in the background. I've got multiple Opera instances. I've got Steam. I've got Windows Media Player. I've got WinRAR up that needs to go away. I've got VTube Studio running. I've got Adobe Premiere and Photoshop both open. And Audacity. I don't know why I still have Audacity up. That was me making weird slime noises. You usually edit and render videos while playing Fortnite. It's true. So typically when it comes to streams from the beginning and end, I'll do either video games or some card game stuff before I get into topics. Then I'll record the topics on videos, and then I'll edit the videos while doing Fortnite. Right now, I don't have anything going on in the background because we're in the beginning of stream, and talking over a video game, it gives me a chance to just get my voice warmed up so that I'm not immediately going into a heavy topic and trying to think. This kind of jump starts my brain. It's like coffee, but for thinking meats instead of digesting meats. Powdini, hello. How are you doing? How it be? Are you at? Oh god, nope. Nope. Your shotgun does not win here. Goodbye. You actual garbo. Do. Also, Remixin, I have to say it's getting a lot harder to rotate my models. Like, so I was using the OG model all yesterday. Right before that, I was using the Chibi model. Right now I'm using VKS, and then I'll probably use Slime Girl next stream. But, like, as I get more models, I'm having to, like, instead of rotating models specifically, I'm gonna have to just rotate by artist. And just be like, okay, this time I use a Remixin model. This time I use a Salem Sky model. This time I use a Suzu model. Because it's just going to be way easier to do that than trying to rotate the models themselves anymore. So I wonder why... Look. I love Face the Fate. It's such a good song. Will Witch Cirrus be up around October? Yes. Suzu is working on a Slime Girl version of Witch Cirrus. And in a world with infinite money and time, if Remixin were okay with it, I would also like to get a Witch version of the OG model. But I also recognize that's probably not happening. That would be putting Remixin back in the model making mines. Aha! Eat pee pee poo poo. Model Addict Cirrus, yes. Purple said, why does the character have bruised ass cheeks? I think it's just because, like, the way that the character model looks, I have like a fluorescent skin on, And so it makes the ass cheeks look darker and more bruised. I think that's where that's coming from, mainly. Said you admitted you have a problem with models. It's true. I do. Look, the way I see it is this. If it means in equal parts that I can keep on spicing up the aesthetics of the show, and also I can keep money flowing to artists who help make my show work, then guess what? The money will flow as freely as I can make it. Because it solves multiple problems there. Like, I can't get Rime working on models right now, but I still have a project that Rime is working on. Bonbon's working on a project. Suzu's working on a project. Only one I don't have working on something right now is Salem, I think. Artists can eat because of Ceres's addiction. LOL. Oh, what's in here? I'll take that. I don't know where I'm going. Hold on. I guess Sleepy Sound? I guess that's where I'm going. I'm gonna fuel your addiction and try to make furry service model in style of Star Fox. So, let me put it this way. Making art for me will not have the same effect. Like, I have my team of artists. Expanding my team of artists always means that money gets spread more thin. So that's what I call a functional addiction. At least it is functional. Whee! Whee! There we go. Whoop. I want a person to shoot. I would like a target to shoot at. I need someone to be shot. My friend, please, come here. Oh, 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 oh. Refuel? Wait, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's mine. Do, 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 do. Can I find a better shotgun somewhere, please? I would like better shotgun soon. Damn it! The thing's shrinking. What? Oh, she took your chair? Good girl. Good girl. Okay. I need to find... Is 27 people here? Oh, waffles. Do you have an addiction? It's also the last of our, syrup, right? Okay. Which means we still only have a tiny bit of syrup left. I need to get syrup tomorrow. I'm debating on whether or not I do stream tomorrow. Because, like, I get paid tomorrow, so I may just use tomorrow as a day to, like, get groceries, and take care of, like, personal effects. No, Avalon, I haven't done topics yet. I'll probably do topics after this this round, depending on how this round goes. Like, if I'm satisfied with how this game ends, then I'll probably swap over to topics after this. That did not have a shotgun. That is also not a shotgun. None of this is a shotgun. Does these have a shotgun? No, but I'll take it, I guess. Shit. No! Damn it, why is it not letting me pick up the gun after I go? What? Who? Why? Do we just... Oh, you're an NPC. I'm just gonna wait in here. I'm just waiting over here. Why would I go do anything different? I'm just here now. Can your character drown in Fortnite? No. No, you have infinite air. There are NPCs in this game? Yeah. There's NPCs, there's quests, there's an ongoing story. There's boss fights. There's cutscenes. Everything is in this game. Everything. It's kind of obnoxious. So there's a story. Oh, there's an expansive story. Y'all, hold on. There's a whole set of quests for the storyline. In fact, actually, this one right here. I am on part 6 of the quest line right now. And it says, find the chair. I don't know the chair. There's Indiana Jones. Yes, there's also Goku and Rick from Rick and Morty, and Darth Vader's a boss fight. Like I said. Also, apparently we're getting a Spider-Man event soon with the Venom symbiote. There's probably going to be like a Venom symbiote takeover or something. There's 9 people left. Shit! Well, and now this one will never be used against me. Oh, okay. Sure thing. I'll accept that. We'll reset. I don't need to be part of this fight with you anyway. Let's fucking go. Your boar is giving you away. Oh, come on. This is getting needlessly complicated. Where the hell did you... Two-shot shotgun? I'll take it. You wish I still had the fire... Wait, were the fire arrows taken out already? Nope. Eat shit, buddy. Hey, it's bargain bin week now. Gotcha. Fire arrows would be really... Nope, I'm gonna let y'all two duke it out. I'm gonna make this a whole lot of not my problem. Did they get rid of the sand beams yet? Nope. Nope, Dragon Ball Z event is still going. Spend all your money week because it's gonna be reset on Sunday. Oh, wait, we actually lose all of our money on Sunday? Warlord of Video Game Glitch, thank you for redeeming your points for an owl. Owl. There's no bush? Oh my god! I can't believe that worked. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. One person left. Where are they? Where are they? I got you. I know where you are now. I know where you are now. You don't know where I am. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. Shit. Nope, you got me. You got me. You got me. She saw me. Second place isn't bad. Second place isn't bad. Just Raz being casually racist.
It's funny.
Jesus Christ. Rume asked the question, Cirrus, opinions on the new Sonic Frontiers trailer? You know what? Here, let's make sure that there's context for everyone. Here. Let's go to that new trailer real quick. Because I've seen it, but because this makes me excited. So, I am excited because it looks really, really good. Ridiculously. It's a Shadow of the Colossus style boss battle. Basically. Did you see that the Unleashed model is finally emoting? Like, I'm excited to play it. I am excited to play it. Because everything looks like it's shaping up to be really, really good. Everything looks like it's shaping up to be really good. Here. Look at this little boy.
Submit. Your reckless actions endanger the world.
Amy, is that you?
You cannot run forever. Leave. Immediately.
Roscoe, that's a very good question, and by asking it, you've just extended the time it will take me to record one. I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm just saying, like, in general, when people are like, when are topics going to be? The answer is, I don't know. It will always be, I don't know. Even when I do know, the answer will be, I don't know. And that will be a guarantee going forward at all times. Was Sonic the origin of the Naruto run? Because clearly Sonic was doing the Naruto run. Sonic's been doing that run since before Naruto was a thing. Wow. Wow. That is amazing. Faith... Okay, guys, you remember the video we just did about Faith with Erica? Instead of providing any evidence, she just went, "Look and you shall find. Others aren't responsible for the research you need to do." Really? Really? So you don't have any evidence. Got it. Sure thing. No, this whole, like, seek and you shall find it. Ha! No. No, 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 no. You made a claim, now fucking prove it. Jesus fucking Christ. God says Uno reverse card. Like that shit just drives me up the wall. Should be a no-brainer, right? You say something dumb, I ask you to substantiate it. You either do it or don't. Don't be like, young child of Jesus. Trust me, bro. Ah. Great. Great. Well, I think I'm going to start at least on the Rings of Power part. Because there's it... Should I cover, like, the Quartering or someone bitching about Rings of Power? Probably. Am I going to end up covering someone much smaller and dumber? Yes. Let's see here. Hold on a second. There we go. I've got the things I need for this bit now. What about this Faith with Erica person? That can be handled later. I like to handle my disappointment in waves. Said Ray Comfort has a gaming channel?
Well, you know, he does have to appeal to the kids these days. Did you know that evolution am wrong? Did you know? God told me. He fingied my butthole.
I'm sorry, I just don't... Ray Comfort is like the old punching bag. British, he says, I got a joke for you. Is it funnier than my representative for my district in Georgia? Because, like, nothing will top what kind of a fucking joke she is. Absolutely nothing. But you can try. Ah. Where is my...
Never look a tulip in the eye.
Tea Time Tea, thank you for the follow. What is that?
When I saw Elon Musk...
That's just Living Waters Ministries channel. What's the difference between a light bulb and a pregnant woman? You know how to turn on a light bulb? So you can unscrew a light bulb. Actually, British Tea, have you heard about this new thing called abortion? You know what's the funny? You know what's the fun? Wait, abortion's legal again? Oh, god damn it. So you know what's the funniest thing I've heard today? You guys go in the Guilty Gear's creator doesn't understand Western things. The man has written almost 24 hours of music with English lyrics. Jesus. Jesus, Jesus. Mm. Okay. I think I got my stuff ready. I'm gonna have fun with this. Good about the trigger in the stream yet. How did Goofy get his name? Donald wouldn't stop slipping him Mickeys. Jesus Christ. Dude, Guilty Gear fans getting mad that Bridget is trans is hilarious. It is so fucking funny. Anubian says all colors are creative. Lies, Anubian. Green is not a creative color. The stream is very H. Oh, dear. Hey, Terror. Do you want love? Okay, you get love. You found out today Carolina Reaper's just as effective as pepper spray? To an extent. Pepper spray ranks a little higher than a Reaper does on the Scoville scale. Think of what is it? Carolina Reaper's 3 million and pepper spray's about 10 million? Is it color or color? It depends. Did you win or lose the Revolutionary War? Said 15 million is just pure capsation. It's color in Canada? That's because y'all are still under the monarchy. Oh. Said you thought they were ruled by France? No. Canada's head of state is whoever happens to be in charge of the of the British royal family at the time. Yeah, right now it's Queen Charles. That Australia's a Commonwealth country? Yep. It also used to be the place where you sent prisoners for exile. And then the prisoners started having sex. And then kids. And then a different society was born. Charles is the dancing queen. Axolotls, if you want to do that, that's fine, but bear in mind, it's not going to be super effective. But you do you. I mean, does the royal family actually do anything more than look fancy? Siphon taxpayer dollars? So there are people in the UK being arrested for holding up signs? Right now, there are some instances of that happening. Is it gonna lurk a bit? I hope everything is well. Or I hope everyone is well. Gotcha, Jasper. Why is your stream name Ray Comfort? Oh, because we're gonna be talking about Ray today. It'll make sense later.
Never look a tulip in the eye.
Holy Mac, thank you for the follow. Said, where did you get your model from? This model was made by Salem Sky. This model was done by Salem. In fact, actually, if you go to the About section, every artist that is involved in the making of this channel is credited there. That's a thing you can do. You can head there. Yeah, Salem's in the chat right now. Okay. I'm gonna keep petting this kitty, and then we're gonna get into the actual topic. Does he cum farts or fart cum? Yes. Imagine if you could cum facts. I mean, that would give a whole new meaning to owning libs with facts and logic. British Tea. I'm in Eastern time. Hmm. Okay. Alrighty. So, I figured it's probably a good idea to talk about the go woke, go broke narrative that people have been spitting out recently when it comes to the Lord of the Rings series. Now, granted, I have not seen this series yet because I want to wait until the entire series is ready for me to watch with my lovely partner Raz. But that's fine because I'm going to be covering somebody who also hasn't seen the series. So we will at the very least be arguing on even footing. Before we get into that though, let's go ahead and get into the fan art section. This first one is from Boaton. Said a Metroid slime Cirrus is here to absorb your energy. That is gross and disgusting, but also perfect. The next one we have here is from Grass Mask. Said, well, he said it. The only NFTs I have are nice fucking tits. I mean, look, these ones are courtesy of Salem, okay? The next one we have here is from Daisy-san. It said, I'm new around here, but I've been lurking on Cirrus's YouTube for a few months, and I finally got a chance to make some fan art. All of Cirrus's models are so fun. Hopefully, I'll be able to get to draw the other ones at some point. This one looks fantastic. And just, I've got the perfect comparison here, right here. Hold on, let's just take... We take the... Oh, whoa, that wasn't supposed to go over there. That's for a different episode. We take these off, and then we take the hair. Wow, we're just going away. There. 1-to-1. Perfect match. As always, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. With that said, if you have not already taken the time to subscribe or hit the bell notification icon, please consider doing so. And if you haven't checked out my Patreon, that's another thing you can do, because, money. Anyways, let's go ahead and get right into things. So... the person we are going to be covering here is it's a channel called Harmon Smith, and he I believe we've actually covered him before, but not about this particular narrative. So we're going to go ahead and do that and have a little bit of fun with it. As soon as I find my glasses, where in the what? There they are. There they are. I didn't want to click the button that made me go and go to a different tab again, just so I get my glasses on. So I know him, the Nintendo Nazi? The Nintendo Nazi? Is that what y'all call this man's? Because, like, I was just going to go with sad. But, you know, sure.
Hello everyone, this is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, King DL, Lord Frey, Grim Clover, Internet Blood Sports, and the upcoming Jaw of the Dragon.
Well, you heard him. He plugged himself, so we got to do it too. So I just have to ask you a real quick question. I don't know if you've got a partner or what, but maybe it'd be a good idea to go discuss, tastefully going with them to ddlgplayground.com and using my coupon code, Cirrus. You get 10% off anything there. That's it. There's nothing else there. There's no other part of that advertisement. I've never added any extra part to that at all, superfluous or otherwise. Anyways, let's continue.
Right now, I believe today, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power has launched on Amazon. And despite the show popping up in my feed every time I go to Amazon.com to order honey or whatever, I have no intention of watching it.
It's a very oddly specific thing to go to Amazon for, just ordering honey. I mean, I'm not going to stick on the point too terribly much, but, like, weird.
It will never watch it, and I suspect the vast majority of the audience is rejecting this. All the signs are there, the outrage is there, people aren't happy about this, and I do think this show is going to be a failure.
So I wonder why. Why would you think the show is going to be a failure, and what signs are you pointing to that the show is not being received well? Because the only things I've seen where the show is concerned are people getting mad that the show has black people in it. I really hope that that's not where we're going with this.
Even the most diehard consumer fanboys aren't buying into this shit. And I think now is a really
Die-hard consumer fanboys. Ah, yes. I too enjoy the consumer paraphernalia that is decorating your wall. I always find it weird when people do this. When people do this, like, look at these people, they're hardcore consumers, bug men. Look at them, and then you just kind of like take a moment, pause, look around, and go, my guy. Those are posters, not mirrors, right? You know how to do this without projecting, right? Chiba, Sarah Chikorita, thank you for redeeming your points for an owl. And also, Wolves Rain, thank you for redeeming your points for an ada. You fucking degen.
Really good time to kind of point out like the obvious. I'm sure a lot of people have already picked up on this, but I've been seeing a lot of like damage control, like when it comes to the reality of the situation. Go woke, go broke.
I like how he rehearsed that line so much he had to say it twice and didn't cut it out in the edit.
Is absolutely a real thing.
Oh, is it?
Okay, right now I'm seeing a lot of people say it isn't a real thing. Otherwise, like Star Wars would have gone bankrupt. Star Trek would have stopped being made. All these IPs would just stop like being so woke. But what you have to understand is that like these franchises are quite literally the biggest entertainment properties in the world.
Right. And you want to know how Star Trek became one of the biggest entertainment properties in the world? By being, quote, woke. You are aware that, like... So, for Star Wars has spent more of its time and legacy in its, quote, woke phase, with more women having roles, more black people having roles, more minorities having roles, and being more about politics, than it has spent in its golden phase. The era where it was just A New Hope to Return of the Jedi, that's a very short amount of time compared to the amount of time that Star Wars has been a franchise. Star Wars has been insanely profitable and functional whilst spending more time in this post-woke politics era than anything. Star Trek, after the original series, which even had its own notes, is probably one of the most, quote, woke, progressive shows that was on air during its time, and it's even still progressive in this day and age, in a lot of the ways it shows itself. And that is, again, early on. In terms of the life of these franchises, they have spent more time woke than they have spent not being so. So, my question to you then, if you're going to say, you gotta understand, when you show me reality and reality shows that I'm wrong, actually I'm right because these franchises are too big to fail. Yeah, my guy, those franchises got that big being, quote, woke. They got there doing that. But okay, let's go ahead and pretend that reality isn't a thing. Now, when he's saying, go woke, go broke, it leads me to believe that the thing he is, in fact, upset about when it comes to the Rings of Power is showing more women and black people in it. Dat. Millie Raccoon, thank you very much for redeeming your points for an owl. Again, this is me going without the info, like without him explicitly saying it. I wonder if he's going to explicitly say it. Let's see here.
Not everybody is as tuned in to woke culture as we are. Like, they're not aware of
Not everybody is as paranoid about minorities as we are. Sorry, had to translate for you.
like the problems it causes. They're not aware of like how these people don't respect the source material, how they have no intention of like telling a good story or entertaining its audience or providing any like a product that people would want to watch.
So, okay, let's sit on that one there. There were a couple examples that you brought up, and we're going to sit with those first, okay? Those examples are going to be what we work with because, again, I haven't seen Rings of Power. I haven't. I know that there's a lot of people who have, but again, I wanted to tackle this guy because he hasn't seen it. So we're going to talk about the myopic. Let's talk about Star Wars. Now, did going woke ruin Star Wars, or was it just bad writing? Let's think about the things that happened in the latest Star Wars movies. Just the Skywalker saga in general. We got basically a rehash of Star Wars Episode 4 in Force Awakens, and it was a pretty good movie in its own right, but it certainly was aping the source material of a different, more successful film to begin with, and that's fine. In terms of a movie that was a recreation of the original, it did its job, and it did well. Now, let's go ahead and look at The Last Jedi. What problems were there in The Last Jedi? Typically, most people who I've seen argue about that movie, they're not arguing about things that are woke in it. They're arguing about the unnecessary nature of a third of that movie, the part that takes place on the gambling planet. And that has nothing to do with the two characters being on that planet being black and Asian. That has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with that major plot point not circling back into the main story. That's all that is. Has nothing to do with the actual racial makeup of the characters at all. And the message... Oh, no. No, I hate this one. Goodbye. Goodbye. But the actual message of that point in the movies isn't even that terribly bad. There's corruption in the galaxy. They tried to go somewhere to get help, and there was corruption in the galaxy. And it came to bite them in the ass. Looking for the better nature in everybody around you can sometimes turn on you. But there are other messages in that movie that are incredibly good and handled incredibly well. The idea of not adhering to dogma and fundamentalism, the idea of abandoning old ways in favor of new ones that are being ushered on by a new generation. Those are all themes in Last Jedi that are handled incredibly well. I'll still stand by that. I think that is probably one of my favorite Star Wars films. Not just because I personally enjoy it, but because I think it's just a damn good film. And then you get to Rise of Skywalker, which is basically just badly written fan fiction. But none of that can be put at the heels of going woke and going broke. Again, nothing about that movie screams wokeness. It's just a bad movie. There are people that get angry about the main character in those movies, how she develops her powers too quickly, and how she shouldn't have been able to do some of the things she did based on how the Force works in established media. But the same people who bitch about Rey are the same people who probably didn't read some of the extra material for the Star Wars series, like, say, I don't know, the Darth Bane trilogy, where an untrained 10-year-old girl manages to kill several Jedi Knights because she's just that angry. The Force doing weird, dumb shit and power scaling people in weird, dumb ways is a pretty common thing in Star Wars. It's a pretty common thing across all Star Wars media, if you've been paying attention to Star Wars media. But people still lay the sins of that franchise on Rey as a character being a woke power fantasy something. Meanwhile, Star Wars is still one of the most profitable franchises of all time, and it hasn't actually lost a significant amount of money since making those movies. But, you know, reality sucks.
Right? Like, Go Woke, Go Broke is absolutely real, because when people start becoming aware of these situations, they do openly reject it.
Do they? Is it because people are aware of woke situations, or because people have convinced them that they should? There's a difference between somebody watching media and then becoming more and more aware that, hey, there's more minorities in here. That's weird. Versus somebody being told that there are more minorities in media and it's making them angry. I watched a friend of mine get incredibly angry at the new Harry Potter film for having 3 entire seconds of Dumbledore admitting that he was in love with the main villain. That 3 seconds of gay was enough to make this man flourish with anger. Now, why? Good fucking question. Good fucking question. But I also happen to know some of the other people that he watches, and I happen to know Fox News was a decent part of the man's diet. So if I were to go out on a limb, I would say that had he not been consuming literally all of the things that told him to be mad at gay things in media, then being mad at gay things in media would probably not be his first option. That would not be the first thing that happened. You see, this weird thing happens. Hatred, revolt, things like that, they have to be taught. They are not our base. They are not the things that we immediately jump to in the beginning. We have to learn how to be bigots. We are typically taught how to be bigots. Smacko says, in what point, holy crap, then I remember there's a new Harry Potter series. Yep. So is it more that when people know what's really going on, they get angry just like me, or when people are told to be angry just like me, they happen to be angry just like me? Which one is it?
But, like, the narrative lately, before this show came out, is that, like, because these companies are so big, because these franchises are so iconic, because, like, consumers are so, like, brain dead, that, like, the show would, like, succeed anyway, or that, like, I don't know, BlackRock would, like, fund the entire thing, that would somehow, like, fuck with property values. I have no idea what that whole conspiracy is. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
yeah. So wait, hold on. It doesn't make any sense to you that these franchises are so big, therefore being woke wouldn't make them fail. But your own argument earlier in the video was that the franchises were so big that being woke would not make them fail. Which one is it? By the way, I have an awkward bit of catharsis for you. Amazon reports that Rings of Power landed 25 million viewers, which was the service's biggest premiere ever. The Rings of Power viewership numbers confirm what we've suspected about its historic bet. It's their biggest premiere ever. Wait a minute. That's weird. That's awkward. I thought it was going to be a failure. I thought reality was going to paint this as a failure and people were going to be rejecting it and... Oh, my poor little baby-brained consumer. Did you fall for the marketing campaign? Did you happen to do the thing where you helped bolster a group of people who happened to be racists and got them really, really angry about a thing, therefore creating free advertisement for the franchise that you think should fail? Did you do that? Aww, that's so sad. That's so cute. Look at you, all the piss baby whining that you could possibly have, leading you down the road of being free advertisement. It is amazing. If you want to make a show succeed right now, you put it on a streaming service people are likely to have, Amazon, Netflix, sometimes Hulu, and then just put the main character as a black person. You know what? Take that series, make it part of a pre-existing thing. Make a Legend of Zelda series where Link is black. The series will instantly succeed at this point, because people are going to get so angry about it, they're going to shriek and moan so much about it, you will create the advertising for them. Now, that it all has to do with the show being written well to begin with.
What is happening? We are seeing go woke, go broke in real time. Okay, it is happening.
It is happening. It is happening. It definitely is. I failed to give you examples of how it's happening, but don't worry, I'm right.
Not just with Lord of the Rings, but with like a wide range of other companies across the culture. It's becoming a thing to reject this mindset.
An example would be good. Evidence would be great.
To reject the worldview, to reject the people who promote this kind of thing.
Oh,
it is growing by the day. I'm seeing it everywhere. This idea that like it's all encompassing, that it's like it's pervasive in our
invasive. He almost said invasive and then had to say pervasive. Weird way to say minorities are invading all the things you love. Guys, can we get a Metroid remake where Samus is black just to make this man angry?
entire culture, that it defines us, like that it defines entertainment. It simply is not true. Because every time anyone gets a whiff of like woke culture, they bitch about it and then tune out if it keeps getting worse.
Do they? Do they really? Because, I mean, the numbers for the Amazon series are showing that that's not what happens, generally speaking. Companies are still doing this over and over again, which means that there's an audience for these things. Companies, I don't know if you know this, but companies are in the business of making money. And taking that business, said make Samus a black trans guy. So, okay, so Samus as a guy does kill a part of her character. It does kill a part of her historical significance. Samus being black does not. That said, when we are talking about the entirety of society coming down on a thing, you need to give some examples of this. Now, I'm seeing this all the time because guess what? I have something to tell you about you doing the consumer brain thing. I have something important for you to realize. Did you know that on all social media you engage in, all of it, algorithms determine where you are. They determine who you interact with. If you are seeing more people getting angry about a thing, it's probably because you have expressed that you yourself are angry about a thing. And so the likelihood that the algorithm of Twitter, of Facebook, of whatever, is going to put you in those groups of like-minded people because it knows you'll engage, or it'll put you in groups of people saying the opposite so that you will be part of the cavalcade of people fighting against them and therefore also engage. This is what happens. You're seeing it everywhere because an algorithm determined that you should. And I'm not trying to take away your own personal everything. What word am I thinking of there? Volition? That's not the word. Agency. That's the one. I'm not trying to take away your personal agency when I tell you this. It's just a fact of reality. I happen to be a leftist, so I happen to be on lefty Twitter, which means I also happen to see people who are railing against lefty Twitter. Those are the two things I see all the time. I see game Twitter as well, and sometimes they coalesce, which means my feed has been bombarded mostly with people bitching about Bridget being trans and Guilty Gear. Oh, by the way, if Bridget being trans and Guilty Gear makes you angry, go ahead. Let me know in the comments section below so I too can get free engagement from the algorithm. Thank you.
Right? Like, we're seeing this now with Game of Thrones. We're seeing this now with, like, Lord of the Rings. And these aren't small franchises, right? These are...
Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones is your example? So another show that is doing incredibly well and is being revered and is breaking numbers for its streaming service. That's your go-to? Wow.
They're like some of the biggest things out there. Like, woke culture is impacting the viability of these franchises, and it is causing people
to watch them. It is impacting the viability insofar as it is making more people watch them right now. And you are helping feed that. and it is hilarious.
To stop paying attention to them, and that is extremely damaging to the establishment, because they need the propaganda machine to keep feeding people into like certain lies about like the way the world works, and like why certain things are the way they are, and things like that. If people just stop watching essentially everything, they suddenly have no control over you, and that's like a very, very, very terrifying thing to them.
Them, they, the establishment, them, they, them, they, the terrible they, the evil they. Who the fuck are they? Because from my point of view, the they is just Hollywood and media companies. Like, the they are oligarchs. And the thing that they want is to make money, and they will make the money off of you. Or they'll make the money off of other people because you directed people to those franchises. I have to wonder, what kind of a terrifying existence is it to have an enemy so imaginary that you can't even name it?
So yeah, definitely ignore Rings of Power. Definitely ignore everything that's going on right now. Definitely ignore like Hollywood, any of these people, and just like continue living your life as normal. America is going to win this. Okay.
America's going to win
woke,
this?
Go broke.
And then you just end with go woke, go broke. No evidence given, no real examples given. The few examples that are out there that are handed on the stick are ones that can be easily refuted or literally work directly against your point. Well, I guess I'm going to go watch Rings of Power. Bye, everybody. Insert end video tagline here. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that right now. That's a later me thing. My guy get angry at everything. Don't actually watch it though. It's horrible. Did he even say what was woke about it? Nope. Just that it was. And also, Bunny Loaf, I do plan on watching it. I have heard nothing but good things about the series. Of course he didn't show any proof. He hasn't watched the series. Sweet Melody, thank you for resubscribing. 8 months, dang. Happy to be part of your community? Well, I'm happy to have you here. Not gonna lie, the right is just a bunch of toxic as fuck boomers that may or may not be rich. I mean, some of them are. Like, as a series, it's shit, even for non-token fans. I don't see how. I haven't seen the series. Like, what's shit about it? Bad writing? Can you give me an example? Like, I mean, I'm sure we can say that that it has bad writing, but I'll need to watch the series before I can come to any conclusion. And I'm not about to go watch like a fucking Mahler video to tell me it's bad or something, because my opinion is Mahler is a terrible fucking reviewer. I'm sorry you're not in a good mood. You know someone whose grandmother figured out he was trans before he did? So that your mom believes in the Confederacy and their ideals? Wow. That's absolutely agitating. But Amazon should face consequences for their vote manipulation on IMDb. I hate to tell you this, but all companies engage in the exact same type of manipulation when it comes to reviews. All of them. My source is that I used to, very, very briefly, be one of the people who wrote some of those fake reviews. I was paid for 2 of them. One of them was for a camera. All companies will pay people to do those reviews. All of them. If Amazon's going to face those consequences, then everybody should. Said shame on you then? Yeah, shame on me for being in a situation where I was unemployed and needed money. Absolutely. 110%. Shame on me. I shouldn't have been in a situation where I needed to do that to make money. You are entirely correct. Good one there, Cycle Dance. You did it. Desperation doesn't justify crimes. Oh, it's a crime now. That's a crime now? Writing a review on the internet is a crime now? I'd prefer to be kind to people and be ruthless to systems. Yeah, fake reviews aren't a crime. So, here's the thing. I prefer to worry about the system that caused people to get in a position where they needed to do things that are considered bad. How is an honest slave owner supposed to make a living these days? Jesus Christ. Like, I have a question. Cycle Dance, was your goal to come in here and be a clown, or did you have a different goal in mind? Because I can tell you which one you're successfully doing. Unless you had a different goal. By all means, if you had a different one, let me know what it was. Let's face it, anything can be bought and sold for the right oil. Jesus. Arianda, thank you for subscribing. And Moxabel, thank you for redeeming your points for an owl. Anyways. While you find a different way to make yourself look stupendous, I'll start getting things ready for the next episode. Okay? Okay. Wolves Rain, thank you for redeeming your points for an ada. You fucking degen. I lose track of which ones I've done and which ones I haven't. I also wonder if there are people who legitimately walk into streams and don't expect a streamer to clown on them when they say stupid shit. Like, it's a live thing. It's not a YouTube comment. Do-do-do-do. If you say oil too loudly, the Republicans will be drawn to you. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Warhawks, you wouldn't be correct. Just because you're correct doesn't mean you're right. Also, people die when they are killed. Let's see here, but the scams have gotten out of hand on YouTube. Okay. Alrighty. So, biblical gender roles. I know that there's always a just ton of fun whenever we cover him. It's the greatest, in fact. There's nothing more fun than reading an entire article from the dude talking about why women should bow to their husbands. But we're going to be talking about that today. So let's get to the fan art section, and then we will get into BGR. Except we don't want to get into BGR. We don't want him being able to breed. So this first one here is from Kitterdoodle. It said, "You heard it here first, folks. Cirrus gave us permission to become amphibians. I will say I think this is one of the best things I've drawn in a while. I'm going to be honest. I love this piece. Yes, chat, you may become frogs now."
You hear that, chat? The government's been putting things in your water. They've been putting frog dicks in your water. It's time to be gay. It's time to be gay frogs. All of you. Every single one of you. You are allowed to be frogs.
No, I love that art. It is astounding. The next one we have here is from Boaton. Said, "Praise be Dumpy, for he has morphed into what we desire most." We have Dumpy the Ditto being the Dumpy. Speaking of Dumpy the Ditto, does this Ditto make my ass look big? Look, all I'm saying is Dumpy got a rumpy. Dumpy's behind me. Go away, Dumpy. Go away, Dumpy. But anyways, this one's from Avalon of Babylon. Said, "I have finished Cirrus as Lord Dumpy, and now I may rest." Jesus Christ. There's so much Dumpy love. Dumpy got the rumpy. But anyways, as always, everybody, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop to the fan art section of the Discord. With that said, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so, and maybe even consider checking out the Patreon, where you can help keep this channel up and running. With all that said, let's get into the article at hand. Why Christian women should bow to their husbands. The custom of women bowing to their husbands, otherwise known in older times as obeisance, goes back to the beginning of human civilization. The custom is still regularly practiced throughout many African nations today, as well as other parts of the world. As Christians, we know that not all cultural customs are biblical, and we also know that the commands of the Bible transcend all cultures and time. In this post, I will prove that ancient customs of wives doing obeisance towards their husbands is not simply a relic of ages past, but is indeed a command to wives found in the Bible. But before we can present the biblical command for wives to bow to their husbands, we must first present some other commands that form the foundation upon which this command is built. So, let me get this straight. You're going to prove to us that women should be bowing to their men by using the Bible to prove it. Okay, sure. In Ephesians, the Bible says the following: "Wives, submit yourselves unto your husband, as unto the Lord, for the husband is the head of the wife." I sincerely hope not. Decapitations would be really awkward then. "Even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body." Don't talk about Christ's body. You'll have to put it in your mouth.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let wives be to their own husbands in everything. Ephesians teaches us the importance of biblical principles that God designed marriage to be a picture of the relationship of Christ and his church. This tells us that we can and should look not just at Ephesians, but also at all other references to how Christ and his church interact with one another throughout the Old and New Testament, to understand how marriage should operate. A marriage built on the principle of Ephesians will be missing key, important attributes of Christ's marriage to his church mentioned elsewhere in the Bible. In other words, a marriage modeled exclusively after Ephesians will not fully complete the picture of the relationship of Christ to his church. For example, later in Ephesians, it commands men to love their wives as Christ loves his church, and lists several attributes of Christ's love for his church, including him sacrificing himself for her, washing her spiritual spots and wrinkles with the word of God, and him providing for and protecting his wife as he would his own body.
So let's go ahead and talk about this real quick, because what we are seeing here is not only the Bible telling wives to submit to their husbands, but also telling the husbands that they need to spend a certain amount of time sacrificing themselves for their wives. You know what this reads to me? This reads to me not as teamwork, but as a bit of a toxic relationship. The idea that you as the wife are subservient to your husband, but it's okay because your husband has to pay the bills. That's not an equal partnership. That's not how that works. You and your partner should be making an equal agreement. Y'all should be making an agreement amongst yourselves about what is appropriate for your relationship, what can be deemed okay in your particular scenario. Not just, well, the book said that you have to be on your knees, so get down there and give me sloppy toppy while I go pay the bills. Like, no. But let's go ahead and continue on here.
Revelation 3:19 mentions some other attributes of Christ's love for his church not found in Ephesians. In Revelation 3:19, the Christ said the following of his 7 churches: "As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous, therefore, and repent." I'm going to have to take a drink.
There we go. That's just Christ saying, I love a lot of people and I hate a lot of other people.
Neat. A husband's love for his wife includes not his spiritual washing of her, his provision of her, and his protection of her, but it also includes his rebuking her and chastening her. The biblical truth is that the wife is to picture the church in relationship to Christ, and the husband represents Christ's means that a wife is to obey all the commands of God to the church relating to Christ, with the notable exceptions of worshiping her husband or seeing him as her savior from sin. Those qualities belong to Christ alone and not earthly husbands. I will address the worship issue more as this post progresses.
Okay, so definitely worship your husband, but definitely do it in a marginally different way than you worship Christ, because it would be really weird for you to confuse those two together, but totally worship your husband as if Christ, because symbolically, that's how it's supposed to be, and... Can you guys see a problem here? Any one person in a relationship trying to teach the other one to worship them as though they were a god? Can any of you think of any potential problems that can stem from that kind of relationship? Where if the man fucks up, if the man makes a mistake, the wife is not allowed to identify the mistake and point out that, hey, maybe you should be doing something a little differently. Maybe you should be treating me a little better. Sounds abusive as hell? Why, yes, that's exactly what that is. If only the man can chasten the wife, but the wife cannot do the same the other way around because their relationship is considered to be functionally different because of some myopic comparison to Christ, then for our purposes here, what we have is an abusive relationship, a relationship with a one-sided power dynamic. Now, he moves on later to talk about Psalms. And I want to read this bit here because we have some comments to give as well.
Psalm 55 is unmistakably a prophecy of Christ and his bride, the church. The notable attributes of the king are mentioned first in verses 1 through 5. My heart is inditing a good matter. I speak of the things of which I made touching the king. My tongue is a pen of a ready writer.
So I'm just going to say this right now. I am going to unironically use my tongue as a pen for which I'm going to write you an orgasm. I'm going to use that as a pickup line at some point. Just you watch. So that sounds oddly thirsty? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The pen will write an adventure to find the clitoris. Knitted Cryptic, thank you for redeeming your points for an owl. Owl.
2. Thou art fairer than the children of men.
I would hope somebody's fairer than a child. I don't think we should be talking about kids that way.
Grace is poured into thy lips.
I'm gonna start calling my cum Grace. I'm gonna start calling my cum Grace. Just sitting there wanking it. All right, it's time to spill Grace everywhere. Jesus Christ.
Gird thy sword upon thy thigh.
It doesn't go in the thigh. It goes in the vagubu.
O most mighty, with thy glory and thy majesty. And in thy majesty ride prosperously.
Is it? But which way? Is it reverse or regular cowgirl? Which one? 4 p.m. It's time for me to grace your face. That's what we're gonna call a money shot now. It's gracing the face. You're gonna grace the face.
Ride prosperously in reverse Cowgore style because of
Cowgore. That's not how that's supposed to be.
Because of truth and meekness and righteousness, and thy right hand shall teach thee terrible things.
Actually, with the advent of the internet, most people masturbate with their left hand now, BGR. Anyways,
thine arrows are sharp in the heart of the king's enemies, whereby the people fall under thee.
So did BGR just say reverse cowgirl? No, I did, because it made his writing much more tolerable.
And then in verses 6 and 7, we see that this is clearly a reference to God the Father appointed Christ as king. Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. The scepter of thy kingdom is a right scepter.
These verses are so thirsty. These verses are so thirsty. I have a rightful kingly scepter that I will use to dispose grace upon your face.
Thou lovest righteousness and hatest wickedness, unless it is kinky. Therefore God, thy God, hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows.
That's what we're going to call lubricant now. The oil of gladness. Victor D&D, thank you for the hydrate. Knitted Crypto, thank you for the wall. You just strengthened your ambidexterity, and now you use your left hand for your mouse half the time. Neat. Time to be oiled up with gladness. Yes. Jesus Christ. I mean, literally. And then it goes on to say,
Hearken, O daughter, and consider and incline thy ear. Forget also thine own people and thy father's house. So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty, for he is thy lord, and worship thou him.
Oh, we literally just saying, abandon your families, go to your hubby. No. No.
These two verses are filled with rich theology.
No. These verses are a lemon. I'm sorry. I'm calling it right now. Psalm 45 is a lemon. This is a smut novel. That is all that is. That is a giant smut novel. This is not appropriate for kids. This is not appropriate for kids. You should not. You've read fanfic that wasn't this bad? You've read fanfic that didn't talk about grace juices on your face and the oil of gladness? Excuse me, when an oily pussy is a serious medical condition. Thanks, Ben Shapiro. It's my favorite. Abalon says, excuse you, that's the word of God. Yeah, and if God created everything, he also created the gutter that my mind is currently residing in. This is as much of a him problem as it is a me problem. Sarah Chikorita says, what he's reading is actually what it claims to be. Psalm 45 KJV. What does that mean? What do you mean by that one, Sarah? Oil of grace upon your face. So this is so much more poetic than the bit about donkey emissions. It is. It is. Fort Spinning, thank you very much for resubscribing. Oh, it's exactly that, not fake. Oh, yeah, no. No, these are all real things from the Bible. Purple Cobalt says raid. I can't actually raid. I need to raid then. And yeah, you need to hit the raid button first. He talks about the translations of Psalms afterwards, and I'm not really too terribly concerned about that. I want to move on to this part.
Women picture the church bowing to Christ when they bow to their husbands. The full biblical picture of the marriage of Christ and his church reveals much that...
Man, this always happens. This always happens. We get to this point in the BGR article where we have to remind ourselves that this man has an editor. This man has an editor that apparently does not have his best interests at heart. Because reveals much then. Okay.
The full biblical picture of the marriage of Christ and his church reveals much than his sacrificial provision for and protection of his wife, the church. It reveals more than his headship over the church. A full biblical picture of the marriage of Christ and his church also demonstrates his lordship over his church and his discipline of the church. A full biblical picture of the marriage of Christ and his church shows us that women are not just commanded to submit to their husbands or even just respect them, but rather they are commanded to reverence their husbands. Who is being commanded to acknowledge as her husband, as her Lord, and to bow to him in Psalms? It is the church. When we tie together the principle of marriage and the principle of the relationship of Christ to his church, and that the Bible commands women to acknowledge their husbands as their earthly lords and to reverence them, we can then see beyond a shadow of a doubt that the command in Psalms is given to wives just as it is given to the church, whom wives are to represent.
So I'm just going to say this right now. This is all just a giant abusive relationship. The relationship between Christ and the church is an abusive one. The church cannot ask anything of Christ. They cannot ask Christ to change. If there's anything that Christ does that is considered bad or wrong or harmful, none of that can be changed. None of that can be negotiated with. It is a purely hierarchical, top-down conversation. And that's the way BGR wants his relationships. And I'm still concerned as to how this man has a life right now.
But aren't women worshippers to their husbands if they bow to them? Many Christians believe that in male leadership, wives submitting to their husbands will object to this, calling it a form of husband worship. But this objection to women bowing to their husbands is frankly rooted in cultural ignorance. In 21st century America, we think of the word Lord, or someone bowing to another, we exclusively think of God and worship. But if we were to go to Britain, they don't associate it differently.
Okay, cool. Landlords exist, and that's not a form of worship. That's as far as we need to go with that. That's you literally just going like, hey, this is not worship. This is just something marginally different. And I'm willing to accept that. I'm willing to accept that, like, bowing to your partner is not a form of worship. It is something that is functionally different. What I'm not willing to accept is that it's necessary or even useful. So we can basically go forward and care Okay, he goes on even further. The difference between bowing in reverence and bowing in worship. Practical ways that wows can incorporate. Okay, so we're done with him trying to be like, this is totally not blasphemy. We can go to him talking about this now. Let's go ahead and read this bit.
Now that we have established the biblical command that wives should bow to their husbands, how can wives practically incorporate this in their marriages on a regular basis?
They don't. The answer is they don't, because it would be stupid.
The image below illustrates several ways in which a woman can bow to her in her husband's presence. The first would be her greeting him as he comes home from work, as seen below. The image below is from a vintage ad mocked as sexist, yet this is very biblical behavior for women to do towards their husbands.
So, the negative space right here, because he's cut, you can see that he's actually like erased the stuff. This ad actually said it's a man's world, so treat him like it is. Because I know this advertisement. I know this one. I've seen it a billion times. All this means is that if we were to read your Bible the way that you are saying, then your Bible is sexist. You don't get to do this thing where you go, well, the Bible isn't sexist because the Bible is good and sexism is bad. So if this is in line with the Bible, it can't be sexist because sexism would be bad and that would make the Bible bad. No. You had the logic right. If the thing is sexist and bad and the Bible ordains it, then the Bible is sexist and bad in that particular way. Oof. And of course, it goes into different ways in which you can just... What? What?
Last but not least is a way that women can bow before their husbands regularly as an act of reverence and affirmation.
This man is just trying... I figured it out! I understand now. This man hasn't been laid in ages. He hasn't been laid in ages. That's what's going on. He is desperately trying to convince his wife that she needs to sleep with him. And so he writes article after article about the ways in which his wife needs to do so because it will please God, so that she'll be afraid to go to hell if she doesn't actually do those things. This is his way of saying, my wife doesn't give me enough sloppy toppy, so I'm going to write an entire article about how blowjobs are biblical. Huh. Let's go to his conclusion, seeing as we've already reached his climax.
God commands wives to imitate the behavior that he commands of the church towards Christ, and God commands the church to bow to Christ as her Lord in Psalms. Therefore, wives, in following God's command to imitate the behavior of the church, must bow to their husbands as an affirmation of their husband's earthly lordship, which is also commanded in 1 Peter. The act of a woman bowing is not simply a cultural relic of ages past, but rather it is a biblical command as part of the wife picturing the church in her reverence toward her husband. And as long as a wife does not see her husband as God, but rather that she bows in obedience in the one true God, then it's a-okay because I need a blowjob. To learn more other ways that you could be reverencing your husband, go to my 2-part podcast series called 5 Biblical Ways to Reverence Your Husband. Or don't.
Or don't. There's a part right here, actually, I need to read.
The simple act of a wife bowing to her husband and him accepting is a very tangible and visible way that he can bring reverence back to the marriage. A woman bowing to her husband is something her children should see their mother do as well, except of course when she is performing oral sex.
Well, I'm glad he doesn't want his kids watching his wife bob on his knob. But you know what you could do? Now that you've been reading this hot and steamy romance novel that he's been writing this entire time, maybe head over to ddlgplayground.com. You can use coupon code Cirrus to get something that you can use to reverence your wife or partner in whichever way you want. And you can even get something more comfy, like a onesie, if you want to go that route. Not too sexual, not too vindictive. You can do whatever the hell you want. I'm just saying do it far away from me after using coupon code Cirrus to go get a dildo and go heck yourself. Yeah, sorry, I'm not going to say the fuck word there. Anyway, as always, everybody, this has been absolutely disgusting to read. Insert end video tagline here. So they also have cute buttons? Good. Good. Said BDSM should be consensual? Yes, it should. Nobody disagrees with that. So no, that's how you break between videos? Wait, Fort Spinning, have you not actually, like, been here during a recording bit? Because, like, that's how we do. Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. So I think, actually, I'm going to take a different approach today. I'm going to engage in a little bit of self-care. I had 3 other topics I wanted to cover today, but I think I'm going to save those topics for tomorrow and then do tomorrow as a community day. After the topics are done. We get the topics done early, and then we'll do community Fortnite stuff. And then next week, we'll do community Commander. Does that sound good? I know it's a lot earlier to end things, but I've been going way late into the night these last few days. And I do not think it's healthy for me to continue doing so. So, okay, you have to show everyone my Lord Dumpy? I mean, I will. But that will be next stream. Finishing at 9 is a good time to wrap up. And it's a time that I don't normally do it. It's a time I don't normally end. So you know what? We are going to pay Hannah Reloaded a visit. I normally am streaming super late into the night, and so I normally get raided by Hannah. Let's pay back. Let's pay back that. And let's raid Hannah ourselves. That sound good? She's been good to us. Let's be good to her. The Pope of Atheism. Thank you so much for the follow. That is quite the name. All right, everybody. Thank you all for being here. I will see you all tomorrow. Hopefully a little earlier.
You can remember Joe Biden clearly threatening the people of the United States. Not once, but twice now. So if they don't impeach these people and investigate the FBI, especially...
Cirrus! It's been a while. I know I've raided you. We haven't talked in a bit, though. We should do something. I don't know if you're even listening, because sometimes when I raid, I'm not necessarily listening to the stream. I'm sometimes already working on editing. But if you do hear me, you're listening? Good. We should do something soon. It's been a while. Anyway, hi everyone from the raid. I'm Hannah. I'm a leftist variety streamer. Today we're taking a look at a thread with over 600 calls to violence from right-wing MAGA supporters. This goes from them threatening over the IRS hiring 80,000 new agents, Biden's spooky speech in front of the red light, and of course Donald Trump's home being investigated for allegedly holding classified documents. Allegedly. So we're just looking at this thread of them basically impotently raging all over TikTok. It's pretty fun. So give me a follow. I'm a good streamer. I'm actually the best streamer. I don't have the most followers. That's actually because I'm so good. I'm trying to keep it on the down low. I don't want to get too popular, you know, because then I'll start buying $2 million, or not even $2 million. I'll start making like $2 million a year and buy a big mansion, and then people will give me shit on Twitter. Not worth it. So don't tell anyone. Best streamer on Twitch, completely hidden. Bardlock Moses, thanks for gifting a sub to Surus. Let's see. The Pope of Atheism. Good to see ya. Millie Raccoon, hello. How's it?